Turley here. Welcome to the No Spin News, which is rapidly gaining fame, some say infamy, all over the world. Stand up for your country. So we are all living in interesting times as American society undergoes dramatic change. A lot of that change is bad. And when I say that, I mean that traditions that strengthened the USA are being destroyed or broken down. And we all know that. We do this almost every night. We challenge. And now with the presidential election of November, you really have a clear choice between the progressive left, which controls everything Joe Biden does and wants a quasi-socialistic country, woke and all that, and Donald Trump, who you may not like, but he will keep the country on a traditional path. All right? He's not going to blow up the structure that we have. And that's basically what this is all about. This election, very, very important in history. And when you read my book, Confronting the Presidents, comes out September 10th, you'll see how important this election is. And by extension, the debate on Thursday becomes one of the top debates in our history. And we will have the best coverage in the country by far. I've already lined it up, and so keep it here. So the press is a part of all this, and that is the subject of the Talking Points memo this evening. I'm going to give you one example of a press outlet you know. You may not read it, but you know it. It's USA Today. So at its height, 40 years ago, USA Today had a circulation of about 2.5 million readers because they gave it away free in the airports. It was everywhere. Hotels gave it to you, that kind of thing. 2.5. You know what the circulation of that is now? About 120,000. From 2.5 million in 89, it's dropped 94% in circulation. And the reason is that Gannett, the parent company, has changed it into an ideological situation. All right, I'm going to prove that now. So Gannett is a parent company, and Gannett lost an astounding amount of money last year. It lost $28 million in 2023, and that's down from $78 million in 22. And the reason it lost less in 23 is it cut out a lot of its paper. So it's hard to get USA Today paper. It's online. So they cut those costs. But it's still losing $25 million a year. And it's not going to be around much longer. The whole Gannett thing is going over the cliff. And again, it's because of ideology. Because traditional people, they don't want to read propaganda. And they won't. So here's the latest headline in USA Today. Put it up there. Full screen on the radio. I'll read it to you. Trump spent the weekend lying. Biden prepped. Isn't that nice? That sounds real objective to me. Trump spent the weekend lying. The whole weekend. He just lied all through Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. I don't know if he stopped lying Sunday midnight, but USA Today probably knows. But Biden, he just prepped for the debate. Okay, the writer of this article is a guy named Chris Brennan. All right, he's a columnist for USA Today. And he has a perfect right to say whatever he wants about Donald Trump or Joe Biden. He's a columnist, but he's a Trump hater. Okay, so under his picture I just showed you, and the word columnist, it should be "and Trump hater." So the audience knows what they're getting. And let me back it up. All right, so in June, just a few weeks ago, here's what Brennan wrote. Quote, Donald Trump is many things. A bankrupt real estate developer recast on television as a business savant, a New York playboy adjudicated liable for sexual abuse, a law and order politician convicted of 34 felonies. That sounds an objective description of Donald Trump, right? Come on. So anyway, I could give you more from this guy, Brennan, but he hates Donald Trump. Now, you would think that the CEO of Gannett would know that. And if you're going to use Brennan, then next to Brennan, you have a conservative columnist. That's how fairness is imposed. But no, as John Belushi once said. Okay, and that's why they're going down the drain. Now, the good news is that the media is not going to have much influence on the vote in November. The cable news ratings are cascading down big time. The network news is it's basically a weather forecast. If you watch the network news at 6:30 or whenever it comes on in your town, they just run around covering weather and then blaming it on global warming. That's what they do. Okay? The Washington Post, one of the two big liberal papers, lost $77 million last year and is a revolution in its own newsroom. They want to boot Jeff Bezos, the owner, out. All right? And the New York Times, well, what can I say? So it's done. What these papers and television stations say does not really matter anymore, with one exception. If the race, the vote, is razor tight, razor close, there are uninformed Americans who pick up stuff, and maybe the media will tilt them to Biden. But it's certainly not going to be what it was. All right? The media is shot in America, another institution that is evaporating before our eyes. And people ask me, is it coming back? And my answer is no, and I will give you my answer in the final thought tonight. Because I was on News Nation last night, and I told News Nation, which is trying desperately to get a foothold, and I like News Nation, okay? I told them that much of the media will never come back, and I'm going to use that sound cut, and that's a memo. All right, Joe Biden is in Camp David rehearsing. Big question is he going to be able to remember what he has been memorizing for the last 5 days? And my answer is, I don't know. That's the drama. You're not going to learn anything new. Both Trump and Biden are going to say what they've said from day one. All right? Biden's going to go, here's a convicted felon. Trump's going to go, here's the worst president in history. We won't have a country anymore. But the drama is Joe going to be able to stand there for 90 minutes without running out and mussing up Jake Tapper's hair or something? And that's why people will watch. And we'll have a record viewership. Now, do you know this newspaper, the Daily Mail? This is a British newspaper. It's a tabloid, all right? It is totally unreliable. One of the worst. Gutter snipes, all right? But they put out a report yesterday that caught my eye. I cannot verify this report other than to say the stats that the Daily Mail used are public, all right, from Delaware. And it's about President Biden's finances. You haven't heard this story because it'll get completely blacked out by the corporate media, but not here. So the story is that the Bidens, Joe and Jill, have two homes in Delaware, okay? They have refinanced the mortgages on those homes on average every 17 months to the tune of $6 million they have taken out of their two homes. I called some real estate people, and they said they've never heard anything like this, ever. Why would you do that? Why do you need $6 million? You have no children in the home. It's just Joe and Jill. And every expense they have, every single one, is paid by the taxpayers. Everything. In 2023, they made $620,000. So why on earth are they taking out $6 million from their homes? I don't know. Now, I know I'm going to get letters speculating. They're giving it to Hunter. They're giving it to Chinese guys. I know that. Okay? And if that is what amuses you, go ahead. But for me, as a hardcore journalist, I don't know. But I wanted you to know that this is, according to the Delaware property reports, which have to be made public, this is in stone. It's true. Isn't that interesting? America is facing real danger. You know that. And the kind of danger only real Americans, smart Americans, are ready for. What makes a real American? A defender of the truth, a freedom fighter, someone who knows what's coming and knows that the government is not going to help. Real Americans prepare with My Patriot Supply. Since 2008, My Patriot Supply has helped millions of Americans gear up for emergencies. Today, their popular 4-week emergency food kits can't stay out of customers' carts. So get yours at my website, prepareLikeBill.com. Each food kit offers 2,000 calories a day. Plus, with ultra-durable 4-layer packaging, it lasts up to 25 years in storage. Order as many as you need. Save $50 on each one. Free shipping included. Stock up on these essential food kits at prepareLikeBill.com. prepareLikeBill.com. All right, let's go to the mail. I'm not going to use this guy's name because he's a very loyal, no-spin news watcher, and I'm not disparaging him, but I'm going to have to scold him a little bit. Hey, Bill, your assertion that CNN would never share its question with its preferred candidate is unfounded. When Donna Brazile gave the edge to her candidate, Hillary Clinton, Brazile was working for CNN. The difference between CNN and its employees is a distinction without a difference. That's not true. Every company cannot control what their individual employees do. Ms. Brazile leaked questions to Hillary Clinton. She admits she did it. She admits CNN didn't know anything about it, and there's not one shred of evidence that management of CNN encouraged Brazile to do it. She did it on her own. Sandra Bai, Shiloh, Illinois. Bill, can you please tell me why someone didn't insist that one moderator at the debate be for Trump? Because no one can insist anything. CNN invited the candidates. They accepted. CNN does what it wants. That's it. Nobody's can't insist. Joseph Crow, Evansville, Indiana. Bill, how is it for 244 years America has existed as a peaceful, prosperous, sovereign nation, but in January of 2021, it began its descent towards socialism and left-wing madness? It's because the people voted for it. Now, they didn't know Joe Biden was so far left and so diminished. That's true. But now they do. And we'll see what happens in November. You want a socialist country? Vote for Biden. Peter Lyon, Seagirt, New Jersey. With only 3 states having laws to stop illegals from voting, how can we know the Dems won't flood the zone? It's a federal crime if you vote and you're not a citizen. Okay? It's also a state crime, but it's feds. Cynthia Lang, Healy, Alaska. Regarding the debate, if Trump named all of the victims of illegal alien attacks the past 3.5 years, it would have an incredible impact. There's not time for that. And how is he ever going to remember? He can't take notes in. So that's not going to happen. Stephen Bush, Nottingham, New Hampshire. I believe Democrats will pull Harris and install Hillary in her place. I'll take that bet. Stephen, that's never going to happen. Hillary Clinton is so unpopular. Kathy Briscoe, Lake Orion, Michigan. I believe Marco Rubio would be chosen as Trump's VP because it's my understanding the two candidates cannot live in the same state. Yeah, but he just has to get an apartment in Georgia, which is not hard to do. He can do it. Nina Miranda, Wilmington, Mass. Everyone is speculating on the Joe Biden candidacy. How would it go if the decision is made that he's not going to be? What would happen to the ballots? Depends when the decision is made. Right now, it'd be fine. You can put whatever they want on a ballot. If it's 3 weeks before the election, then they'd have a problem. Okay, we have a flood of new concierge members because of our supersonic deal. And here it is. If you become a concierge member, we give you not only a free book, including my upcoming book, Confronting the Presidents, but a Not Woke mug free. Both of them free. Now, you can re-up your concierge membership and get them. You can become a new concierge member and get them. I can't do this much longer. And then we have a 4th of July special, Not Woke mug and a Stand Up for Your Country mug for $10. Now, you have to pay full price for the Not Woke, but Stand Up for Your Country is just $10. And these are good gifts, so you can keep them for yourself or whatever. That's a 4th of July special. So once you go to the BillO'Reilly.com store, we got fabulous deals trying to save you money. Word of the day, do not be gnarly, California word. G-N-A-R-L-Y, gnarly, real word. Back with a final thought in a moment. This July, as we celebrate the birth of our nation, it's important to reflect on the freedoms our forefathers fought for. Today, these freedoms are under attack, and you know that. Look at the treatment of President Trump and others. If the left can go after a president, all of us are in jeopardy. That's why we need to stick together and fight back. AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens, is more than just a senior discount organization. AMAC is dedicated to protecting our conservative values and defending our rights. Learn more about how AMAC is actively fighting for our freedom by visiting amac.us/O'Reilly. This July 4th, let's pledge to stand united. Join AMAC today and ensure that our voices are heard. That's amac.us/O'Reilly. Together, we can make a difference. Are you overwhelmed with back taxes or unfiled returns? With 88,000 newly hired IRS agents, that agency has increased enforcement, issuing millions of pay-up notices this year alone. So don't face the IRS alone. Tax Network USA can help you. As the nation's premier tax relief firm, they've negotiated more than $1 billion in tax relief for their clients. Services include penalty forgiveness, hardship programs, and offer in-compromise solutions. So are you behind on taxes? Whether it's $10,000 or $10 million, they can help. Protect your financial security. Contact Tax Network USA for strategic advice on reducing or eliminating your tax debt. To schedule a complimentary consultation, please call 800-245-6000, or you can visit tnusa.com. Don't let the IRS control your life. Empower yourself with Tax Network USA support. Take charge of your financial future. All right, here's the final thought of the day. I was on News Nation last night. We're talking about the CNN anchor who threw off her show, the Trump spokeswoman. You know about it. I led with it last night, and it's a big story. Okay? So Leland Vittert says, why is this happening? And here's what my reply was. Go. If they say something stupid, you should be smart enough as an interviewer to go right in and hammer them. That's what journalism's supposed to be. But it's vanishing before our eyes because these anchors and hosts and everything else, they don't know how to do it. I mean, It's, for me, 50 years, I know what I'm doing, Leland. I would have just absolutely on either side relished that opportunity. And as we said last night, if I'm the anchor of that CNN morning show, and I'm bragging now, and that's terrible. Number one, the show would be in the morning would be number one, okay? Because I would make it into must-see TV, like we did with The Factor and the No Spin News. But number two, if the Trump spokesperson came in and started attacking a colleague of mine, I would allow that. And then I would say, as I mentioned last night, well, wait a minute. Your guy, Donald Trump, agreed to be interviewed in the debate by Jake Tapper. What are you whining about? That's a great question. And on the other side, okay, the CNN anchor, what is she doing? That's great television, okay? You should be able to handle that. And if you don't like it, then tell the person you don't like it. But the Trump spokesperson could prove that Tapper and Bash hate Trump. And that puts the CNN anchor in a bad spot. Unless she lies. And she can't lie because it's on a record. But if I'm the anchor, I'm anticipating that. Okay? But look, you know, that's why you watch me. You watch cable news or network news now, you know, they don't know what they're doing. Generally speaking, there's some very good talent. The reason Fox News is number one isn't because it's conservative. It's got much better talent than MSNBC or CNN. Talent is better. Just like an athletic team. Team is better. Hits better. Pitch is better. Okay, but even if you compare FNC now to what it was 10 years ago, it's not even in the same hemisphere. And you know that. I mean, I'm not telling you anything you don't know. But the lack of skill on television news now, stunning. And there's nobody coming up. There's no minor leagues. You can't go to Chicago or New York to get local people to put them on national. They don't exist. Because the corporations don't want that now. They want to play to the choir. They can make money playing the choir. Not as much money as we made. We made billions, okay? But they could still eke out some money. Unlike the newspaper industry, which is totally in disarray. Thank you very much for watching and listening. Make sure you stay with us all week. We're going to have the best debate coverage. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.